Mosquitoes are the deadliest animal in the world. If we prevent mosquitoes from biting us, then deaths of incurable diseases would fall dramatically. Mosquitoes are killing more than 1 million people around the globe each year. They carry deadly diseases that have no vaccine. Mosquito bites can even harm unborn babies and cause birth defects. With over 3,000 species, it's hard to determine which ones carry which diseases. So this means it's extremely important to take preventative action against mosquito bites. Malaria has historically been an issue for humans, and it's still a threat today. According to the RTI International, which is an independent nonprofit research institution dedicated to improving the human condition, the scientific discovery that female mosquitoes carry and transmit the malaria parasite to humans was founded by Sir Ronald Ross on August 20th of 1897. So now August 20th is World Mosquito Day. Our first president, George Washington, contracted malaria. Following him, 7 other American presidents also had malaria. The increasing threat of malaria is what created the Communicable Disease Center, or CDC, and currently half the world's population lives in an area where mosquito bites can lead to malaria. Today, we know that mosquitoes can carry deadly diseases in addition to malaria, such as yellow fever, dengue, Zika, and more. Malaria has been affecting people for ages, and we're still at risk of contracting it today. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, malaria can be more prevalent in sub-Saharan Africa, but is still a threat to American travelers, military, and citizens who live, study, and work abroad. In order to be diagnosed, they need to actually observe samples of your blood and look for the parasites. An average of 2,000 cases are diagnosed in the US each year. These numbers would be dramatically bigger if it weren't for the efforts of our US government and the CDC. If you contract malaria, you'll experience a fever, chills, and flu-like symptoms for about 10 hours. They will look like a cold stage with shivering, and then a hot stage with headaches, fever, vomiting, and even seizures in young children. The final stage includes sweating, tiredness, and returning to your normal body temperature range. It may be a week to a month before you even experience these symptoms. Physical changes will include increased perspiration, higher temperatures, weakness, enlarged spleen, enlarged liver, mild jaundice, and an increased respiratory rate. In 2018, an estimated 228 million cases of malaria occurred worldwide, 405 resulting in death. The trends of malaria cases are impacted by the geographic location as well. Transmission will not occur in very high altitudes, during colder seasons in certain areas, and in deserts. However, transmission will actually increase in warmer regions that are close to the equator, and this means year-round. The highest numbers are in Africa south of the Sahara. Mosquitoes have grown smart over the years and developed highly tuned survival tactics, making mosquitoes more challenging to control. According to the World Health Organization, or WHO, over the years, mosquitoes, female mosquitoes particularly, have evolved, showing a distinct preference for human blood over other mammals, and a use of sneak attacks when approaching victims to avoid getting noticed or slapped. Their new method of attack involves coming up from behind and biting on the victim's ankles or elbows. And they also prefer to take multiple tiny bites. So they'll do multiple tiny bites to decrease the time of contact on the skin and increase the number of people they come into contact with. Unfortunately, this also increases the number of people a single mosquito carrying the virus can infect. A female with a belly full of blood will use those proteins to make an average of 200 eggs a batch. Some species can produce up to 5 batches of eggs during a lifetime. For survival, they lay their eggs in several different sites. Mosquito control is an important and effective can effectively reduce transmission of mosquito-borne viruses if it's well implemented. So mosquito control is complex, costly, and faces challenges of mosquitoes developing insecticide resistance now too. Currently, the CDC has eliminated malaria in Haiti and the Dominican Republic through the Malaria Zero Project, while creating a malaria-free zone in the Caribbean. Preventative measures and treatment interventions of malaria has globally saved 7 million lives since 2001, and deaths in Africa were cut by more than half. Mosquito control to fight malaria has been successful, and this is why it's important to continue practicing those methods. WHO stresses that the elimination of mosquito breeding sites is by far the most effective intervention for preventing and protecting populations. Personal protection against bites, including any repellents that are safe during pregnancy, are also highly recommended. And WHO encourages people to boost the use of their current mosquito control intervention as a first line of defense. New scientific approaches are being developed and tested for future use to further reduce the mosquito populations. So a promising and hopeful method of control is the use of male mosquitoes who carry a natural Wolbachia bacteria. It's harmless to humans and mammals. The females who mate with these males, they will lay eggs that won't hatch. So, furthermore, certain strains of Wolbachia will actually reduce the ability for mosquitoes to transmit diseases to us. And this requires no genetic modification. It's completely natural. And this method is currently being tested in Australia, Brazil, and Vietnam. With mosquitoes growing stronger and smarter, our risk of mosquito-borne diseases increases and grows. This impacts every one of us as a human race. We have to fight mosquitoes at the source. By using effective EPA-registered insect repellents and making it more difficult for females to lay their eggs, we can stop the spread of deadly diseases over time. Even our most renowned icons, Dr. Seuss, made a pamphlet for our U.S. Army in World War II, educating our soldiers on the importance of malaria prevention. Referencing the Anopheles mosquito as Anne, Dr. Seuss says, her trade is dishing out malaria. Anne moves around at night, a real party gal, and she's got a thirst. She drinks GI blood. Then the poor GI is going to feel awful in about 8 to 14 days because he is going to have malaria. Thank you.